Give me a C.
C.
E.
Give me an S.
S.
Give me a P.
P.
And that doesn't spell anything, but this is the Casual Simps Podcast with me, Kristarr.
Sweetpotato.
And Raven. Woo! How we lot feeling?
Good.
Gucci.
We're totally not filming this right after our previous episode. We're
No, that's
fine.
No, we're not.
We're fine. We're
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
What it is.
It is what it is.
Welcome back to episode 7 of the Casuall Simps Podcast. Guys, we have 7 episodes. I'm so proud of us.
7 episodes.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? I thought episode 1 would have been it. But, we move, we push, and we be innovative in this. And we're trying our best. That's all we can say. We're trying our best. And we hope you guys are appreciating our efforts, especially our pre-recording efforts, because we be like that now. So, this is a continuation and the finale of the 3-episode series of Lost in Paradise. Are we excited? Are we hyped?
Yes.
I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of you two. I'm so happy that you guys did your stories. They were both excellent. I'm so glad we got to do this.
Yes.
And I hope we can. It was a really good idea, wasn't it?
It was a nice experience.
Yeah, maybe we could do it again, but not now. My brain fried. But maybe a little later down the line, we
Maybe.
could possibly do it again. Maybe. Because we have to admit, let's do some reflecting here. This music is kind of making me want to reflect. I'm vibing. Let's reflect on the trials and tribulations of writing that one shot. I swear, oh my gosh. Let's just reflect. Isn't it like amazing?
It was, man. I don't know, just the entire process of doing it was interesting.
I know. What about
good
you?
learning experience. It was a good learning experience for me because I'm not really into writing. I'm more of a reading person, so it was a nice experience. Yeah, I didn't know I was so creative.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sometimes when you get in that writing space, it really, really, really like pushes you over the edge, and it forces you to be more creative than you thought you were. And you read your finished project, you feel so proud of yourself and a sense of relief that you did this. Well, that's how I feel anyway. So yeah, let's just get right into it, why don't we? So, like our last 2 episodes, we're gonna wait till the second half of the podcast to read the one shot. And for those who have been following, it's yours truly. It's my turn to read my mess. And I hope you all are ready because
I'm not ready.
I'm ready. I've been waiting to hear this.
The pressure. Okay. So let's start off with some news items. Let's start off with something a little bit somber. A little bit, not really somber, but like questionable, but has a happy ending. You know what I mean? So, Japanese TV personality Sayuri Fujita. She is based in South Korea, and she's known for being on, the Global Talk Show, Wonderful Friday with You, Real Men, and some of her most recent project being Space Talk, which is a shown on comedy TV. and it has been going on from 2018 till now. I'm unsure of the status of it at this very moment, but based on her IMDb and her Wikipedia, that's what it says. Oh, she was also in oh my gosh, Icon Idol School Trip. Okay, in 2017. Nice, nice, nice. She is a winner of an NBC Entertainment Award for Best Teamwork Award, which was really good for Real Men Season 2, the female edition. And she won that. Let's she has her props. But
Nice.
unfortunately, a woman of such stature and such hard work has been faced with a slight dilemma. She it's not really a dilemma in many aspects, but I guess in her industry and in her part of the world, it can be seen as something that is not really accepted, which is unfortunate. She has taken the big step to becoming a single mom via medical procedures, and unfortunately, it's being looked down upon that she has made this decision to become a single mother. And she's getting some backlash, but the love and appreciation for what she has done and what she has accomplished and what she will accomplish further on in life, and has overpowered the amount of hate she's getting from what I'm seeing, which is really happy. She's now the mother of a little boy, and we're also happy for her. What do you guys think about the situation? Sweets, let's start with you.
Yes. I'm very happy for her. I've seen her in some shows and stuff like that. I think she's very, very funny. So I'm happy for her she was able to have a child and stuff like that. And that also the Korean shows are inviting her on and stuff like that, and interviewing her and stuff like that. Because she had this fear that she wouldn't be able to come on TV because of what she did. She was scared she wouldn't be able to become on TV like for a few years and stuff like that. But I'm happy they asked her to come on to do an interview and even put her on a show called The Return of Superman. That's a reality show where Korean celebrities, the fathers, it's around the fathers who take care of their children by themselves. Like they send the mothers on a retreat or whatever, and it's basically showing how the fathers take care of their children and stuff like that. So she's on that show, showing her daily life with a little baby boy and stuff. So I'm happy for her. Yeah.
What about you, Kristarr?
And also, I think sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry about that.
But I was saying also, I think because of her decision, it also brought up some discussion on the laws about getting that procedure done in South Korea. It's actually illegal in South Korea to get that procedure done for single mothers. Well, single women, they cannot do it on their own. They have to be married to get that done in South Korea. So it's bring up some discussion on it. Maybe they can change that law. Stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you, Kristarr? What do you think about it?
I think very interesting discourse. Like, it's something that I myself want to actually think about as well. But like, props to single moms. I must say, big up single moms there, because it can be a struggle. Just being even single dads as well, just single parents on the whole. But at the end of the day, she does have this son, and hopefully he can be raised in a happy home with a mom who, as she said, is very proud to be his mom. So yeah, it's an interesting story for sure.
Definitely. It really is. It really does bring up or at least strike up a good conversation as to these laws that almost seem, well, to us outsiders looking in, seems a little bit primitive. just a tad bit.
Yeah.
Then again, we have to understand, like, over there on that side of the world, and also on our side of the world, there are certain traditions that have been ingrained into us for centuries.
Right.
It's going to be a cycle to break that to fit into modern like ways of thinking. And it's up to honestly, it's up to the people in power over there to see what they can do about it. I mean, it's not like we have a say in it, but I believe if you have made your dues and you feel like you want to have a kid,
Yeah.
you should be able to do that freely without being legally married. But that's just my personal opinion. My opinion does not reflect anybody else's, so I just want to make sure we know. But we at the Casuall Simps podcast, of course, we're so happy for Miss Fujita for being able to have her son and to be a mom because she's been wanting this for a while.
Yes.
And we're so happy for her, and I hope that her son grows up to be a beautiful, healthy young man. Yeah. All right, so let's move on. So guys, remember, like, I think it was 2 episodes ago, I mentioned that the final chapter of the manga. You guys remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
So apparently, people were so mad and so bothered by it that it triggered so many people that certain people did not get together and certain things did not end up the way they wanted it to. There is now discussion. This is just a rumor, so allegedly, only allegedly. So allegedly, there is discourse about possibly redoing the final chapter and posting a new one. And I think that's complete crap. I think.
I
You know what?
agree.
I'm gonna just let you guys. I'm gonna let you guys give your opinions first before I give mine. Kristarr, let's start with you.
Like, why? Honestly, why? I mean, the author, it's his story. It's what they want to portray. So it just makes me think of a certain scenario where I can't remember what it was, but the ending of something was changed just because of all the hate that it got. Am I thinking of the Sonic movie? I don't know. Maybe it's that. But something else happened as well. And
No,
it's like
the
because
Sonic.
what? The animation, like the design of Sonic was changed. I remember because
Yes.
people like hated it. I mean, it wasn't that great. I will agree, but my God,
What about you, Miss
sorry.
Sweetpotato?
Yeah, I agree with Miss Kristarr. I agree because it's the writer's decision. Like, it's his story. Like, why would you want the writer to change something that he wrote? Like, it
Right.
doesn't make sense. If you're reading something for the writer's plot and story, why you want to change it just because you don't agree with how it ended? Like, if you're so bothered by it, go and write your own manga.
That's right.
Let the author do what he wants to do. It's his book. Yeah.
I just feel like us as readers and us as consumers of manga, manhwa, webtoons, whatever it may be, us as consumers of literature, consumers of entertainment on the whole, we have to respect the creative decisions of the owners of the franchises, of the mangakas, of the story writers, of all these people, because at the end of the day, the story is not ours, it is theirs.
Yes.
And whatever their decision is, however they want to end the story, I mean, come on, guys. Attack on Titan is already a tragic story to begin with. The first episode had how many people dying? You're so angry that 2 people didn't get together. You're like that mad. You're so triggered.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't forget all the people they killed in that. Y'all could have gotten mad. Y'all could have gotten mad way ahead, you know.
Yeah, I'm saying like not to spoil, but like my G Aaron, like spoiler alert, my G Aaron literally killed like 80% of the population. Like yo.
Yeah. Y'all should have been mad a long time ago. Y'all should have been
exactly
rioting a long time. Like not rioting, but like y'all should have been blowing up a long time ago. Y'all
protesting.
literally just mad. And spoiler alert, you guys are just mad that Aaron and Mikasa didn't end up together. That's all it is, you know. That's all it is, in truth. And I get so annoyed when people like do that kind of stuff because it's not your story.
That's the thing.
Stop trying. It is not a choose your own ending story.
Exactly.
Okay? It is not. Like, come on. And now it's all about pandering to the fans now and pandering to the readers. Because now, like, they got so much hate that I remember one of the story writers, I forgot his name. He was like, he started losing interest.
Oh man.
He started like not losing like motivation.
Oh.
That's the worst thing, you know.
Yeah, and then like, and I'll reiterate that again. Attack on Titan is already a tragic story. Biggest point out of all of this, not everything can have a happy ending. Okay?
Yes.
Not everything will end up with everybody coming back alive and then somehow their body parts getting sewn together and them just ending up alive. Like that's not how it's gonna happen. Okay, people, for the story to progress and the story to advance, I think tragedies have to happen, relationships have to be formed and have to be broken. And at the end of the day, as long as the people writing and drawing the manga are content with their product, that is all that matters. We are consumers. We don't have a choice of what we eat in. We just eat in what's in front of us, okay? This is not a restaurant. We don't have a menu, okay? Like, let's just put it, like, just point blank period. Let's just end it right there. We guys.
Yes. This is just like, okay. It's just like, sure, I want to know how Skip Beat ends right now, right?
Oh my gosh.
This manga doesn't want to end, but I cannot go to Yoshiki Nakamura and be like, hey, can I see the last chapter of Skip Beat like right now? No, I can't do that. The lady have other things doing to make me suffer until I get to the ending. So, I just have to wait for it.
And whatever the ending is, we just have to accept it at the end of the day. What are you gonna do? Knock on the lady house? Like, don't do that. Like, oh my god.
Excuse me.
Don't do that. I know you're crazy. Don't do that. Don't do that. God. Don't do that. Jeez. I swear. Anyway, so on to lighter things and for our last topic. So guys, you guys know my favorite female idol group has always been and will forever be 2NE1. For me, I don't care. We know they're like one of the greats. We know they're one of the best. They're goated. Okay? So
2NE1.
Oh boy.
Looking at each member's social media, we've been noticing little patterns and little hints here and there. And then our good friend Park Boom had a little slip up in an interview. And she let out the little gem that 2NE1 may or may not be recording together again. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm ready. I'm ready. My heart, my soul, my body is ready for a 2NE1 return.
Yes, I am.
I'm ready. And also, was that Sweetpotato?
No, I'll just say like Especially the older K-pop fans and stuff like that. They've been waiting for a comeback, for this group's comeback for many years. Like there was a point in time, like 2000 and what years were they active? Like 2013, 12, 14. Like that era was a 2NE1 era.
Yes,
Like on a
100%.
whole. That other
100%.
K-pop groups, but that was just a 2NE1 era. They were winning everything, breaking records, everything. That was just
Nobody was doing it like them.
yeah. And
And
still, and up till this day, people are still talking about them. K-pop idols are talking about how they were inspired by 2NE1, stuff like that.
of course,
That was just the group.
of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
And it's not only that. I think the 2NE1 fans are still hurt with the way they left us because of how sudden it was.
Yes.
And how because they got disbanded when they were getting ready to go on tour. And I was just like, huh? When I heard that, I was like, nah, that's cap. And then it actually happened. I was like, oh my gosh, they're no longer together. Anyway, so the members have been. People are saying, it's confirmed because the members at one point all posted a picture on their Instagram wearing pink.
Yeah, I saw something like that. Like I don't know if how accurate that is, but going through their Instagram, you can see like Minzy posted in some. She had some pink jacket on. Sia also had some pink outfit on. And
Yep,
then
it's off
Park
girls.
Boom,
Yeah.
a video she one of the music live music things she was on YouTube. She was in pink. And then I think for Dara, she had like a pink heart or something in her display photo. And
Yeah,
to anyone's color, I think for the sign or light stick, I think it's pink, right? Pink or purple.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, 21, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but I feel like that's reaching just a little bit.
Yeah, probably is. I really hope they have a comeback. I really hope they bless our ears because we need it.
You don't know if they come back. Like everybody forgetting about every other K-pop.
Yeah, it will be total chaos if they come back. To be honest,
Chaos, and I'm ready for it. Shake up the game. We're waiting. We can only dream, right?
Yes,
we can only dream. Hopefully we'll get it soon. If not, I mean, we still love them. Either way, we still appreciate what they gave us and the era they provided for us.
Yes.
Now, Kristarr, I have a question for you. Are you like a hardcore 2NE1 stan, or are you just like privy to like a couple of their songs or something?
Mostly privy. I don't know too much about them, hence why I can't really join all the hype. But I am familiar with them to a certain degree.
Right. Well, you'll be joining us if they return. Yeah. Honestly, we can't wait. We can only hope at this point. But yeah, these are our topics, I think. Did we get through all of them? Yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, guys, it's time. It's time for the mess.
Oh boy.
It's time for the mess. That is my story. I just want to start by saying the initial story in terms of word count came close to 14,000 words.
Oh my goodness.
So we know
you
that
did a me.
Yes, I did a you. And it was so, oh my gosh. And I know that since my main platform is Wattpad, I know these Wattpad readers are not they don't like long chapters. They'll probably tolerate a 7,000 word chapter, but to me beyond that, they start losing interest. That's just the patterns I've noticed. And throughout editing this, I tried to edit it, guys. I tried. And the more I edited it, and the more I cut down every paragraph I removed, just broke my heart more and more and more and more, because this story, I could not, like, it got to a point where I'm just like, I'm at like 6,000 words, and I'm just like, I literally cut this story down more than half. If I move anymore, I won't have a story. Maybe my story may be a bit wordy, but I really enjoy setting up a scene before the chaos ensues. And I feel like my readers appreciate that a lot. I get, like, with my writing, I get a lot of comments on the setup to the scene and how people can picture it when they read it and stuff like that. And I just wanted, I could not, guys, I could not cut down anymore. So this story is going to be 2 to 3 parts, maybe 4. But
now, hold on, before you continue, right? So, during our last episode, right, we had a situation. We had a situation where somebody just drop us on the side of a cliff, right?
They put us on the grass, behind the grass, on the
side of the side of the road.
If you're from our country, you know that joke.
Oh boy. Yes, so I just would like to implore, beg, plead, please do not throw us off a cliff. Thank you very much. I'll appreciate it.
No promises. No promises whatsoever. I'm sorry. If you get hurt, well, that's a you problem.
You see what they just do me, and you see the people of the internet can see what you'll just do to me. Okay.
Okay. So, my story is called Lost in Paradise, and it is an ex-reader. So, which one of your names am I putting in the story?
Oh boy.
Sweetpotato.
Sweetpotato?
Sure. You can put my name.
Can I? Do I have to say Sweetpotato? Can I say?
No, you can say Nikki. Okay. I'm cool with Nikki.
Cool.
As long as I don't die.
No, there is no death in this story. So, yeah. Before I continue, this is a Jujutsu Kaisen story, and it's specifically Gojo Satoru's story. We all know Gojo Satoru, Mr. Handsome, white hair, blue eyes, yeah, strongest sorcerer, yeah, we know. And I would really appreciate it if you guys look at it on Wattpad when it is posted, because the format of it is a bit strange. It gets a bit strange. And you can also appreciate my hard work in my graphics in the book and whatnot. Anyway.
Yo, this girl is blessed with the graphics in the book.
Her skills are on another level.
Yes.
When I tell you another level, I mean another level. Like, yo, talented.
When
I say talented, I mean talented.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, especially coming from you guys, because you guys are just as talented as I am. So,
don't be modest.
It'll be available.
You're talented.
Come on.
Yes.
It'll be available on Wattpad to read, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Are you guys ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Yeah. I've been ready.
So, Lost in Paradise by Awkward Raven. He sat up from his... Oh, wait, before I start, trigger warnings. This story makes mention of drug use, alcohol use, and can come off slightly angsty, or maybe a little bit fruity. Fruity meaning a little bit lime-like, or a tad bit of This don't read it if you're not 18 enough. Period. Okay, cool.
Right.
No minors allowed.
No minors.
Yes,
We don't want
ma'am.
them. Banned.
Okay. Okay, ready? Okay.
Yes.
He sat up from his intoxicated slumber, every inch of his head pounding in the most excruciating pain, as if he was being smacked upside the head by numerous tiny spawns of hangover hell. His brain felt like there was an inflatable directly beneath it, slowly growing in size as time passed. The suave bass player had not bothered opening his eyes to greet the world as the mere prickling heat of the sunlight bursting through his open drapes assaulted his eyelids. Every muscle in his body throbbed and ached. Did he run a marathon last night? Was he being chased by street thugs like that one time they performed in Hong Kong? Or perhaps did he have one of the best performances of his music career, fall into the temptation of the devil's lettuce, and had and had the bright idea to do 10 soju bombs on an empty stomach, all because of the ridiculous diet his manager kept him on? Oh man, he groaned while making his first attempt to sit up properly from the dark grey suede couch that sat to the center of the living room. A dreadful mistake, one to add to many that already accumulated on the figurative list. The moment he decided to make the big move, his stomach contracted as if he got hit with a wave. No, as he got hit with a wave of dizziness. The squeezed gut caused him to lurch up a foul gag. The taste of bitter bile with a hint of beer tickled the back of his throat. Oh boy, bad idea, Satoru. He managed to groan out. He slapped the back of his hand over his already closed eyes in a poor attempt to save his hypersensitive vision. His stark white hair, usually coiffed into an updo, now fell flat, giving him stringy like bangs sweeping across his forehead. Beads of sweat formed from the pores of his hairline, slowly dripping down his temple, his body's natural response to heat, an effort to cool itself off. This is the worst I have ever felt after a show. The slow husky rumbles of a once drunk man ached his parched throat. But that just means I had the best night ever, right? Yeah! He exclaimed, the remnants of adrenaline traveling through his body in one final burst. He stood up to his feet, fist pumping the air with a silly grin plastered on his face. There, before another wave of nausea racked through his body. In a matter of seconds, he fell to his knees in a cold sweat, to crawl over to the nearest waste bin that sat beside the couch. Like a sick puppy, his entire body arched into a C curve before he expelled the nothingness that occupied his stomach. He trembled, gripping onto the can for dear life so hard that he just might have made a dent in the aluminium. His body was at the mercy of his gag reflexes, making sure there was nothing left to be removed. I don't like the fact that you're so quieter.
Visualizing that.
So engrossed in the story.
Yeah, me too. I'm literally visualizing that as you read, like you.
Right?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Gojo had never experienced such a violent hangover, though neither had he done such careless things after a performance. Once his body was done exercising whatever demon that possessed his digestive tract, he flopped back onto the floor and finally opened his slightly crusted over eyes to look up at the intricate lighting fixture that hung above him. With a blurry vision, the lights that bounced off of his irises shone as small glimmering bouquet lights dancing along the ceiling. The image that was presented to him reminded him of the type of lights his manager requested for the next video shoot, though she argued back and forth on the correct name of the lighting effect with the creative director. Just to appease her controlling nature, they all settled on calling them fairy lights. His tongue smacked against his palate, trying to rid himself of the bitter taste that coated his mouth. He raised a hand to the lights that peppered the ceiling before dramatically wailing, "Is this what heaven looks like? Or is this just a precursor to hell?" He groaned
Mm.
before dropping his hand over his eyes once more. "My goodness, Satoru, you're one dramatic bastard." Shuguru Geto, backup singer and lead guitarist for J-Source, strolled into the living room area of the shared
Jesus.
penthouse, followed by withering clouds of steam from one of the random hallway bathrooms. He leaned over the floundering band member, purposely letting the water that travels through his long black locks drip off the tips of strands. Drip, drip. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. He leaned over his floundering band member, purposely letting the water that traveled through his long black locks drip off the tips of the strands onto the face of the hand and hands of Satoru. Do you guys remember who Geto is, by the way?
Yeah, I've
think
seen the
so.
pictures before.
Okay, so
I don't
I'ma
think you
just
refreshed one.
I'ma just do this. Check our Discord chat, and I'ma just do that as well.
Oh.
So if you
Oh
guys don't
yes,
remember,
yes. I remember
Yeah.
him.
I'll just put all the characters in here one time. By the way, for our listeners, I'm just uploading the gifs that I made for the one shot into the
When we
thing. So
say talented, we mean talented.
Yes.
okay, so these are the characters. Okay. Okay, back to my story. Feeling the small patter of the waterfall over his face, he uncovered his eyes to be greeted with his best friend of many years. Shirtless, with a towel wrapped around his neck and waist, his eyes traveled down the chiseled torso of the half-lidded gaze. Wait, what? Oh my gosh! I can't read. His eyes traveled down the chiseled torso. His half-lidded gaze amused the one that towered over him. "I know I'm attractive. You can stop staring." Geto rolled his eyes before standing straight again. As if, ugh, Satoru groaned out, his words being too loud for his already ringing ears. "How come you aren't screwed like me?" He held a hand out to Geto, which he took, using it to pull him to sit upward. "What do you mean? You know I handle my alcohol well." "I thought you did too, but clearly that's not the case." Geto chuckled deeply before taking the towel that snuggled around his neck to finally dry his already damp hair. Satoru brought his knees to his chest and leaned on them, his sparkling seafoam orbs marveling up at his friend, who was drying their hair with great care. "How long was I out for?" he said with a small pout. Geto hummed in thought, his eyes searching around the room as if some random item in there would give him the answer. "I'd honestly say about 8 to 10 hours, he replied with a small shrug. Geto turned on his heels to walk to the open-style kitchen. He headed straight over to the fridge to grab a chilled bottle of sparkling water, only to set it on the black marble top counter in front of the matching set of bar stools. "Come on, you gotta recover, man. Try to walk to get this bottle and have a seat so we can talk," he said nonchalantly, playing with the cap of the sealed bottle. Satoru saw the challenge set before him. He knew the water would do him good, but being as theatrical as he normally is, the task at hand appeared differently. In his eyes, the water appeared to be hundreds of feet away, when in reality it was only a few steps away. He swallowed, staring at the condensation dripping down the sides of the curvy bottle. That alone gave him the motivation to at least make an effort in standing up. He was thirsty. He pushed himself off the floor, slowly standing to his feet, wobbling for the first time since he woke. He blinked a few times, dragging his feet across the floor, barely lifting it off the ground, off the hardwood, to finally sit at the counter, in front of that beautiful beverage. Attaboy, Ghetto grinned, as at the sight of Satoru chugging down a bottle of water. He leaned against the counters, closest to the fridge, watching as his friend slammed the emptied bottle back down onto the marble. Alright, now that baby is not thirsty, let's talk about those bruises you have below your ear and neck. A casual index finger pointed out the darkening circular bluish purplish bruises below the lobe of his left ear and the slightly larger one that painted the junction of his neck and shoulder.
Mosquito bite him. A mosquito.
Bruises? What are you talking about? Satoru inquired. Unbeknownst to him, the bruises his friend spoke of were just minuscule to the rest of the issues that littered his current physical state. Aside from his suspicious hairstyle, Satoru's fitted silk black button-down, usually buttoned all the way up to his neck, had the top buttons undone, just enough to expose the top of his carved pectoral muscles. The corner of his lips was smeared with remnants of red lipstick, his bottom lip slightly reddened and swollen. There was a mysterious wet patch or stain on the right leg of his black trousers. His knee-length black trench coat, long discarded and stuffed into the corner of the couch. His small satchel laid on the floor, just beneath the television that was mounted on the wall. He wore only one sock on his left foot, the other one nowhere to be seen. The lobe of his right ear was reddened, with a fresh new silver earring dangling from the pierced flesh. The latch of the main door unhinged, the sound causing both men in the kitchen to turn their attention in the general direction to watch drummer Itadori Yuji stroll through the door. And if you guys make reference to the chat, you'll see who Yuji is. We all know it's Yuji right now. Okay.
Yeah.
The new
I was
guest.
done at the one song.
By the way, this is kind of long, so let me know if you all want me to take it over.
We cool. Continue singing.
The newest guest turned to close the lock. Turned to close and lock the door behind himself before removing his shoes at the entrance, oblivious that all the attention was on him at the moment. With his first step into the open-style penthouse, his eyes found the two band members staring directly at him. "Well, good morning to you two," he said with a smile that radiated innocence. Satoru waved him off and face planted onto the counter while Ghetto returned his salutations. "Yuji, you seem chipper," Ghetto huffed out sarcastically, folding his arms across his chest. "Well, yeah, it's a good day today." Yuji held up two tote bags which he carried through the door, the contents of the bags remaining a mystery to the other two men in the room. "You say that every day, Itadori," Gojo rumbled against the cold marble. "'Cause every day is a great day, even though it doesn't start out as one." A boyish giggle left the rosy-haired male, while he made his way to the kitchen counter to place the two tote bags on it. "I brought breakfast!" Rustling through the totes, he pulled out 4 artisan-style croque madames and set them on the counter. The smell of the toasted sourdough bread and the mild honey wafting from the ham traveled to the miserable Satoru, who lifted his head just enough to admire the expertly wrapped sandwiches. that were being laid on the counter. Oh my gosh. Are these from that little cafe down the street? The drooling man hummed out. Yeah, I even got us cold brews. I figured we could all use it. Yuji grinned as he searched the bags to set out the bottles of cold brew. As usual, the Irish cream one is for you, Gojo. I love you, Gojo blurted out, giving Yuji a few firm pats on the back. Then we have a little time skip. Tiny, tiny, tiny one. Right here. Soon enough, the three men gathered closer together to indulge in the sandwiches and coffee. I know we can't continue today without addressing the elephant in the room, Yuji said with a tilt of his head, and his mouth filled with crispy egg whites. What elephant? Gojo said, while pushing his hair out of his eyes. You dummy, Geto groaned out. You look like you got hit by a truck, he continued.
Snap.
But Gojo's defense was interrupted by Yuji, and then dragged through some filthy streets. Ouch! Yuji was cut off mid-sentence by Gojo smacking him in the back of the head. Fine, I get it. I've looked better, Gojo admitted with a sigh. Very true, Geto mumbled. But I have no idea what happened. The white-haired male sighed softly, his hands resting against his cheeks, while his eyes peered forward, looking at nothing in particular. I was there for most of it. Maybe I can help you recount last night? Yuji said with a lift of his head. I don't know if I want to. I'm kind of scared. Gojo chuckled dryly. You have nothing to be scared about. You're here and fine, Geto reassured with a firm nod of his head. Alright. How about you start off with what you remember, Yuji? Start off with the last bit of the concert, because that's where it all went downhill, Geto huffed before taking a sip of his iced coffee. Alright, well... And that's where it ends.
I knew it! Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was about to throw a fit. Like, yo. I'm too invested.
I'm kidding. I just wanted to do that.
I'm too invested.
If you had done that, I would have blocked you on all social media.
I was like, don't tell me. This is how it's going to end. Don't tell me. No.
This is the gif I have in this section. So now in this part of the story, we begin recounting the concert night. Okay? And this is the part where the writing gets a little bit strange. So I've incorporated the lyrics of Lost in Paradise into the song.
Into the story?
And into the story. And each paragraph of the flashback starts with 2 lines of the song. So how do you want me to do it? Do you want me to read out the lines to the song, then the paragraph, or just read through the story without reading the song?
You can read the lines.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first 2 lines. Gotta get it, homie. I'm reading without actually singing it. Okay. Gotta get it, homie. Gotta move it. Huh. If you're gonna do it, then take it all and push it. Yo. These are the first 2 lines of the song. The bright stage lights of the sold-out arena shone down on the band J-Source. Satoru, with his sleek custom sky blue marble bass, swung to the back of him, resting against his back as he finished sing out the last few words of his chorus. He held onto the mic stand, leaning forward to sing to the screaming fangirls that sat in the front row. It was something about the cockiness in his tone that made them scream and yell to the brink of tears, not to mention his sultry tenor voice that never failed to stay on key. His dominant air was something to be envied, as it obviously was by the unfortunate dates to their screaming partners who stood with their arms folded and scowls on their faces. Okay. Everybody just talk, nobody really do it. Just keep it on the down low until you're getting to it. These are the next 2 lines of the song. Every so often, Gojo would find himself glancing at a certain attendee of his performance. This person did not go unnoticed by the rest of the band members either. They stole their glances as their body swayed and lips moved, mouthing out the words to every one of their songs. Their hair bouncing and shifting with every movement they make. Satoru in particular became shameless about his oogling as the concert progressed. The last song in particular, Lost in Paradise, was something they really were excited about. He could easily tell. The energy spiked, they danced and sang their hearts out, even managing to form tiny beads of sweat along their forehead. Gotta tell nobody at all why you make the call. It's all you. It's time to break the walls. These are the next lines. Harmonizing along with Geto, who was plucking at the strings of his guitar, Gojo dance stepped all the way to stage left and removed the mic from the stand. He got down in a squat just above the mystery person who was just so captivating to the members of J-Source. He licked his lips, staring directly at them, their eyes locked onto the black lenses of his small round glasses. Gojo dipped his head downwards slightly and raised a finger to the corner of his frames, pushing them down, having the glasses hang just by the tip of his nose. The fans surrounding the mystery person swooned, some becoming so dramatic as to pretend to faint. The performer paid them dust, keeping his crystal eyes on the person who had him from the beginning. He shot them a wink, expecting them to swoon like the other people around them, though their reaction took him by surprise. His wink was returned, with a wink of their own and a blown kiss. Trick him with a fake for a show, keep it cool and low, and prove them wrong. Those are the next two lines of the song. A challenge accepted. If y'all know that Easter egg, I love you.
Wow.
And you are fans of my writing. A challenge accepted. Gojo had never been one to be outflirted. Never was he one to let his side stray off of something he wants. He was known to be shameless in his actions, however. The very moment he saw the returned wink, he knew that he would be in for trouble, but also for a good time. With another nod their way, Gojo made strides towards the center stage where he collected his mic stand. His hips swayed along to the pop-funk rhythm of the end of the song, as the end of the song approached. And you guys, that's when like the chorus starts, you go, I won't give it up, fight in my life. Okay. Because my life is living for love. Okay, that's the next two lines. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Geto grinned and winked as he took a hold of his mic, walking center stage, next to Gojo, swinging his arm around him. The sparkling lights shone on the four of them. Yuji and Megumi, pianist and drummer of the band, left their stations to come to center stage with their mates. Oh my gosh, y'all, I can't read. To come to center stage with their mates, so to take a final bow. I think that was an error, but okay. As they all raised their heads, their eyes looked up to the sky, as rehearsed, where many multicolored fireworks were shot up into the air. The crowd marveled at the arty explosions in the air, while the band slowly slipped away backstage to prepare for the next part of the night, the meet and greet. If you guys know that Easter egg as well, I love you. Anyway, the next two lines of the song are, I won't give up the fight in my life, standing off the groove of time. The conference room, there was a tiny time skip, by the way. Are y'all okay?
Yeah, we good.
Yes, we're good.
We're following. Visualizing.
Yes, saving our comments.
Oh no. I am afraid for your comments at the end of this show. The conference room began to fill up with a crowd of fans who waited diligently in the growing line. Fan after fan, the men were met and showered with gifts, some handmade and some crafty, some bought from overly fancy brands, which worried Yuji in particular. He never wanted someone to spend money on him. He always wanted to do the spending. Yuji's boyish charm and shy nature always held a soft spot in his fans' hearts. He is known to drop everything in a heartbeat to attend to a fan, whether it is to take a picture, greet them, or even in rare cases, take them out to lunch, an incident that caused him his first and only scandal. Tokyo
Really?
prison, going to realize your feelings. These are the next two lines of the song. Each fan got a chance to meet each member of the band, starting off with Megumi, then Yuji, followed by Geto, and lastly Satoru. Like all meet and greets, the men began to grow tired, their social clocks desperately needing a break. 2 hours went by and the line had finally dwindled to the last 5 people. Gojo, while delighted to meet his fans, became quite bored quite quickly until he saw the last group of 5. His eyes sparkled behind his shades, his body perked up, his pulse quickening, his heart skipping beats. There they are. There they were. The one who challenged him earlier. Hey, yo, are you alright over there, Satoru? Geto nudged his neighbor, leaning forward to see exactly where his head was pointed at. When times get too rough, ooh yeah, night and day are fading. That's the next 2 lines. Don't worry, guys, it's almost over. I promise. There's that person from earlier. Satoru mumbled out with his incoherent words. What do you? Geto was cut short by Gojo placing a hand on the back of his head, turning it to the direction to where he was staring at. His eyes widened quickly before his lids dropped and his lips curved into a crooked smirk. Damn, I remember them. He chuckled before nudging Yuji, who was wasting no time in oogling at the mystery fan. Megumi, who sat at the furthest end of the table, sighed happily, almost relieved to see their face and meet at the meet and greet. I thought they didn't get the meet and greet pass, Megumi mumbled as another fan approaches him, eager for him to sign her Megumi branded phone case. Well, they were in the front row, and those tickets are usually pricey, Yuji hummed out as he continued greeting the fans before him. Yeah, normally the ones we get at the meet and greets are those who we see in the front row or in VIP. Geto chuckled as the fan before him shivered just by him holding onto her hands. Hey, it's okay. You can tell me all your desires, Satoru said with a subtle seductiveness in his tone to the fan in front of him, before he watched them leave. Yeah, you're right, he nodded on, as if he didn't just... Oh god, why did I write that? As if he didn't just melt the person in front of him. Going to relight your feelings, there is no time to explain. That's the next 2 lines. You're okay?
We good.
Yeah, we good. Oh my god. Final fan to be met, and only person left in the room aside from the band themselves and their security, stood there looking at their phone, waiting for the person before them to leave completely. The band members found it strange, as the normal thing to do was to go as soon as Megumi was done speaking to keep the line flowing. However, since they were the last one in line, since they were the last one in the said line, they were just waiting patiently, finding comfort in looking at their phones, texting, or just scrolling through various social medias. While Megumi waited for Gojo and Geto to stop flirting with the fan they were dealing with, he leaned forward on the table to rest his head in his hands. His eyes traveled along the frame of the mystery fan, completely hypnotized by their aura. Yuji followed suit, scrutinizing them from the top of their heads to the tips of their toes. Ooh, 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 ooh. Give me your love. That's the next 2 lines. Stresses of... Okay, so I'm using sweets in my story, so I'm gonna just input her descriptive attributes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tresses of black hair recently released from his ponytail framed their face. a dark green oversized turtleneck layered with a black thin strap tank, a dark green and black plaid skirt that touched their mid-thigh, cinched with a simple black belt, dark fishnets, and what seemed like combat boots. Simple Coke bottle spectacles surrounded their what color eyes you have? Brown color
Yeah.
surrounded their brown eyes, highlighting them perfectly. Okay, last in line, come up. One of the guards called out to the fan, who the guys all had bit. No, call out to the fan who the guys who had. Oh my gosh, y'all.
Just go
Take
slow.
your time.
Take your time.
Try not to make it too long. I talked it too much. Oh my
It's
God.
okay, Fab. We
It's
are
alright.
listening. We like it. Love it.
Okay, last in line, come up. One of the guards called out to the fan, who the guys had all been enamored by. Their heads shot up from their phone, a small smile ghosting over their plump lips. Woo ooh 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 ooh. Access to your love. That's the next two lines. They nodded their heads in respect towards the guard that called out and made their way to Megumi, who stiffened up slightly. He swallowed harshly and blinked a few times in disbelief. Here, he was about to talk to someone who he thought was so interesting, after already speaking to a bunch of people. When they stood in front of him, he found it hard to string together appropriate words to speak. However, with a poke to the side from Yuji, he cleared his throat. The other members leaned forward to glance at the outcome of their what the outcome of their conversation would be. Woo ooh 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 ooh. Oh yeah. Woo. Okay. Next two lines. Well, hello there. Thank you for coming to our concert. Did you enjoy it? Megumi leaned forward, clasping his hands out in front of him, with a kind smile. He tilted his head to the left, giving off the best charm he could muster. Yes, generic conversation is always best in times like these, he thought to himself. However, the moment he heard their voice, those soothing thoughts went right out the window. Oh, nothing is for real. That's how you make me feel. That's the next two lines. Their voice left their lips like the sweetest lullaby, soothing his anxious mind with a few syllables. It was like someone gently picked up the drummer and placed him on the fluffiest cloud, rocking him to sleep slowly. His lips dropped at this, and he sighed happily as he listened the best way he could to the voice that could be compared to angels. Oh, thank you for having this concert. I really enjoyed it. I'm so happy you guys performed songs of your new album. They mused, standing on the tip of their toes before dipping back to their hips. He could easily tell that she was extremely excited and completely in awe of the men before her. God beaten, stomping in love, pick up on wasted time. That's the next one. He chuckled, twirling the marker he held in his hand, which did not go unnoticed by them. Oh, I'm sorry, I have nothing for you to sign. Their tone dropped to something more solemn, which hit an unwanted nerve within the sighing Megumi. Don't you worry about that. You don't have to present something to sign to come meet us. Your presence is enough. He prodded on for their name. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so much better. They sighed in relief. The name's Nikki, by the way. Chewing at their bottom lip. A small giggle rumbled from them. Music to the ears of the men who listened attentively to the conversation going on. A beautiful name for someone like you. Fitting for someone like you. Megumi's deepened, smooth voice brought a rise of scarlet heat on their cheeks. Thank you, you're too kind, they giggled before taking a small step to the right to come face to face with Yuji. Almost done, guys. Almost done, I swear. God might understand, no one can hold me down. That's the next two lines. Yuji put on a warm smile and held his hand out to them, blinking a few times. They slowly stretched out their hands to briefly interlock fingers with each other. Yuji's thumb gently grazed the back of their hand, relishing in the soft, velvety feeling of their skin. He hummed happily, the pair just staring into each other's eyes for just a brief moment. Yo,
Mm.
when did these two get so much game with the ladies? What's going on? Gojo whispered into Ghetto's ear, causing him to choke back a laugh. Beats me, but I'm happy for them. They're normally the shy ones. They're all grown up now, sadly. Ghetto sighed, giving a soft pat to the back to the silver-haired bassist. How come you how'd you come to know of us? You seem like a long-time supporter. He giggled while he relished in their presence. Oh, I heard of you in passing actually. Your lead singer was hanging out posters a few years ago, and I took one from him. They chuckled, their head turning to take a peek at Gojo, who was in dreamland while looking at their fan. That's amazing. Thank you for your support from the beginning, Yuji hummed out, letting go of their hand with a small smile. I won't give up the fight in my life, because my life is living for love. Next two lines. Nikki shuffled lower down the table to face Ghetto, who fully embraced them in open arms. No one in the room was expecting him to do that, since he was known as a mild germaphobe. It's so nice to meet you. A happy grin took over his face, the corners of his eyes crinkling ever so slightly. Oh my, it's so nice to meet you. Pulling away from the hug, Ghetto settled back into his seat and folded his arms across the table, leaning forward. So, Nikki, was it? His head tilted to the side, his hair following suit, covering his eyes slightly. Yeah. Can I just say your vocals on Wild Side is amazing? They mused, only pushing Ghetto's ego further into the sky, higher than it needed to be. The rest of the guys eye rolled, seeing how Ghetto perked up in his seat from hearing this compliment. Why, thank you. That means a lot coming from someone so beautiful. I won't give up the fight in my life, standing off the groove of time. These are the next two lines, and yeah. Shuffling over to the challenger himself, Nikki's mood changing slightly. They stood taller, their lips curved into a smile, while they twirled a strand of hair within their index and thumb. Gojo leaned forward onto the table, bringing his glasses down to have his eyes meet theirs. He fluttered his pale lashes at them, puffing in suspense of the building tension. How about I cut to the chase here? I know you're a fan in that, but how about we go out tonight? You, me, and the rest of the guys.
Book it.
He said with full-blown confidence. Nikki nibbled at the bottom lip, their eyes finding comfort in staring at the light above them. Gojo did not budge, eagerly waiting for their answer, though he never let his excitement ruin his suave outer shell. Bring it on, bad boy. No, bring it on, big boy. And that's where the story ends.
First of all,
Oh my
first
gosh.
of all,
No.
let's all big up Awkward Raven on a
Yes.
Wattpad. Follow this girl.
Yes, sir.
This girl is
Yes.
talented. This girl, yo.
I hope it wasn't too long for our listeners. I really tried to shorten it.
It wasn't too long for me. I enjoyed
was
every
not.
single bit of it.
It was great.
I really love his style of writing. It's really good.
Yes, I was so invested. Like I was speechless. You know? It was great.
So, individual thoughts of the story. Sweets, you wanna go first?
Okay. Yeah, I really loved it. As I was saying, your style of writing, it brings me, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like it brings the story to life. Like I can picture it, like I'm feeling, like I'm experiencing it. That's how I feel for your style of writing. I really love it. When I was saying I'm visualizing, when you asked me if you were okay, I really mean I was like visualizing like that whole story, like I was walking alongside them and stuff like that. It was really
But y'all were hella quiet though. I was worried. I'm like, oh my god, did I put somebody to sleep? Oh no.
no. We were
No,
not
not at
sleeping.
all.
We were
Not
following.
at
We
all.
were paying attention 100%. We were
Yes.
engaged. We were
Like, you
waiting for
know
more.
how, for instance, in Deng, when RM's stuttering and it's like everybody just like goes quiet, it was like that. Like the mad respect for the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Mad respect.
Thank you, Lot. Thank you. Kristarr, your individual thoughts?
Okay.
Oh
You
my
know how
god.
much I enjoy your writing. You know how much I love it. And you did not disappoint at all. At all. It was great. Like Sweetpotato, I agree that it's always easy to follow along with your writing style, and it's like I'm in the story. Like I can actually imagine everything that's happening as it's happening, and it flows so crisp
Yeah.
and clear. And girl,
Mm.
I love it. It's the tea. You are blessed. Fam.
Oh, I think that means a lot because you're my writing senpai. Ah!
Wait, what?
Yes, you're my writing senpai.
No,
Big up Kristarr
no,
Senpai.
no.
Kristarr is a writing senpai.
No, Raven is the writing senpai.
No, But yes, thank you guys so much for the compliments. I will be uploading this to Wattpad, as I said earlier, and the other chapters will be uploaded when I feel like editing them and posting them, honestly.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay, so question.
Oh no!
So what was the writing process like for you?
Oh my god. Okay, so you guys know. Oh my gosh, my phone. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, you guys know. Lost in Paradise is a song I've listened to over and over and over and over again for a good while. Both songs,
Mhm.
Kai Kai Kitan and Lost in Paradise, which are both the opening and ending songs of Jujutsu Kaisen season 1. I listen to them quite often, and for some reason, when I was faced with the task of writing this one shot, I pictured these 4 men in a band,
Mhm.
and I just and that's how I wanted it to go. I knew Gojo could easily be like a playboy, and he's also the like kind of the well, he actually is the most popular character in the anime. Even if
Yeah.
he's not the main character, he actually is the most popular
Yeah.
character. So I was
Zari.
just like, yes, sweet potato said. So I just wanted us, and I've always wanted to write a Jujutsu Kaisen story anyway. So I figured I'll take this time to do it. And the name of the band, J Source, because they're Jujutsu sorcerers, so J Source.
Ooh.
Wow. Should have thought of
Um,
it.
Also, when Gojo said challenge accepted, that was a reference to one of my other books, my banana fish book
Yes.
called Challenge Accepted.
Big up.
Also, I was inspired by BTS's concerts when they use the fireworks to distract their fans from when they're leaving, and they just have these fireworks and then they just slip off stage so their fans don't cry and stuff like that. So that's what the ending of the concert was inspired by. Also, I got tired of reading like stories with such submissive OCs or submissive reader stories, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was just like, you know what? If I'm gonna do a story, whether it was an OC or ex-reader. By the way, this story was supposed to be an OC, but I got too lazy. I didn't want to think of an OC. So I wanted the reader to be just as flirty and just as dominant as Gojo was, so he kind of meets his match. And you will see in the next chapter, those who linger about to read the next chapters, the next 2 to 3 chapters, you will see that they are just as bad. I also use the pronoun they because I wanted anybody to read it, I guess, no matter the gender. Ethnicity. Yeah. So yeah, that was my writing process.
Nice.
I'm never reading out loud again. I swear. Alright, so I guess this is it for today's episode.
Yep.
Alright, thank you guys for listening. Sorry if it was too long. I tried. I feel weird promoting my work. Check it out. Check it out on Wattpad. It'll be in the description. And check out all these two other lovely ladies. Their Wattpads, Kristarr and Sweets on Wattpad, and also Kristarr on fanfiction.net. We hope you enjoyed this series. It took us a while. We put a lot of hard work into it. So we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you stick along with us for the ride. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, are we missing something? I don't know.
Nah, we good.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Good. Cool. All right. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Enjoy the music for a second.